Well, what's up, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well. It's time for your second video of the day. Obviously, I've been thinking a lot about the Inghams lately. I've been thinking a lot about their vlogs and things like that. It's just even now. When I think about it, it still makes me laugh, the fact that, they brag so much about the fact that they have 1.3 million subscribers. But they don't have 1.3 million people watching their vlogs. They're only getting 20 to 30k views per day. So, then, the fact that they have 1.3 million subscribers is just not really something to brag about when your channel's not even getting anywhere near 100k views per day on a vlog. If their channel was getting, 200k views a day, plus on their vlogs per day, I don't think that I would chat shit about their channel as much as they do. I probably wouldn't be saying that if their channel was still getting that many views per day on the vlog, I probably wouldn't be saying that their channel is dying, and I probably wouldn't be saying that their channel is falling apart or that their days on YouTube are numbered. But at the moment, it can't help but feel like that is the case. Like, it can't help but feel like their days on YouTube are very much numbered, and I think they know that now. I think they know that. But they just, they won't accept it. Like, they won't, and as I said in my video I put out earlier, they need to start facing facts. And the facts are, their channel is done. Their channel is finished. It's finito. But, obviously it's crazy to see that, the direction that their channel's going in, and, the fact that, it feels like so long since their channel was getting over 100k views a time per day on a vlog. Like, the only vlogs that still really get that amount of views, or obviously the Christmas vlogs. And obviously the Taylor Swift vlogs didn't do too bad views-wise. But you would be expecting a channel that has over 1.3 million subscribers to be getting more views than it actually is. And I can't help but say it, but I feel like if they were putting more effort into their content, and they were actually putting content out there that was more interesting to watch and was actually worth watching, they would maybe get more views. It's just crazy to think that they don't even get, that they brag so much about having 1.3 million subs. But, there's not 1.3 million people watching their vlogs every single day. I don't think I've ever been more certain or more adamant that that a lot of their subscribers are just inactive accounts from people that haven't actually bothered to stop watching their videos and haven't bothered to unsubscribe to their channel. I do genuinely believe that if YouTube got rid of a lot of the inactive accounts that have been inactive for a very long time, you would actually, their subscriber count won't be anywhere near what it is now. I think, I wouldn't mind betting that if YouTube, got rid of a lot of the inactive accounts, they would probably get, they probably would have less than 1 million subscribers. I think it's pretty fair to say that they probably would have, less than 1 million subscribers, for sure. But then again, it's like, that's me saying that they would have, that's me saying that there's over 300,000 inactive accounts on YouTube. Then, there must be, because it's like, they have over 1.3 million subscribers, but they're only getting to 20 to 30,000 views a day. So there's obviously a lot of inactive accounts there or whatever. There's probably a lot of people who have subscribed for whatever reason, stopped watching their videos and haven't bothered to unsubscribe to their channel. I think the problem with their channel is that, as I've said before, it's in a sorry mess. I keep saying it. I keep saying that their channel is falling apart. But what else are you supposed to say about a channel that is only getting, that's only achieving sort of 20 to 30,000 views per day on a vlog? And this is a channel that, has over 1.3 million subscribers. But these days, that's not really anything for Chris and Sarah to really brag about. It's not that great, having 1.3 million subscribers. It's like, what exactly have they got to actually show for that? Because they haven't really got anything to show for that, to be honest. I think we all know that, it's their hits that have helped the channel get to where it is, I hate to say it, but had they never put their hits out there on the internet, they certainly would never have gotten over 1 million subscribers. I think it's fair, it's very fair to say that the Inghams channel would never have been, wouldn't be as successful if it wasn't for the hits. It's not completely unfair to say that the Inghams channel is way more successful because of the hits, because that's basically the truth. Like, it is way more successful because of the hits. It's not unfair to say that or anything like that, to be honest. It's just crazy, really. I honestly don't know what to say. It's just madness. Like, I honestly don't know what else to say about their channel. There's nothing. These days, there's just not really anything good or positive to say about their channel. I have been trying to think of some positive things to say about their channel, but there's just nothing positive to say about it. What the only thing that can really be said about the Inghams channel these days is it's falling apart. It's in a position that, it isn't going to change it. It's certainly not where it should be. I think that the sort of content they're putting out just is a big part of the problem. As I've said, and I've said this in so many of my vlogs recently, so many of my videos recently, and I'll keep saying this. Like, if they were putting more effort into, that content, they wouldn't have so many problems. It just feels like they're really, really not putting any effort into YouTube, and they're trying to convince people that they love doing YouTube and that they're still enjoying it, but I don't think they're really convincing people of that too much, to be honest. What I see are two people that really have lost the passion for YouTube. I feel like, that's why they don't put much of an effort into the vlogs anymore, because they just don't have that passion for YouTube anymore. I just feel like if they had more of a passion for YouTube, they would put more effort into the vlogs that they were putting out. They would put more effort into the content they're putting out there. They would make it more exciting, make it more interesting, make it more, most of these comments that you see from people saying, oh, it's a great vlog, yada, 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 bot comments, it's just crazy, really, the iFan can say that the vlogs are so damn good, but the vlogs are not that good. I don't know what the iFan are getting at, because their vlogs are not that good. They're not exactly what I would call 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 5-star vlogs. I wouldn't, to be honest, I would put the Inghams vlogs probably at 2.5 stars. And that's being generous. The quality of their vlogs these days is just not there. There's no, this is the problem with the Inghams vlogs. There's just no quality there in their vlogs. There's no quality in the content they're putting out. It's like, they're getting desperate when they have to clickbait crap. And again, that is another big part of their downfall, is the constant clickbait. To be honest, the clickbaiting is probably doing their channel more harm than it is actually doing it any good. Even the constant clickbaiting they do just isn't working anymore. This is the problem here, and this is what they need to realise. They're trying to keep their channel alive, but nothing is working. Nothing they ever do works. Because nobody gives a damn about them or gives a damn about their channel. These days, family vlogging channels, they're a thing of the past. Like, very soon they will be a thing of the past. If they were putting, I'd love to see them, as I said, in my early video from this afternoon, I would love to see them go out, go to different places, like go to different countries that they've not actually been to before. This is what I have to say. It makes me laugh how people these days think that Chris and Sarah are so pitch perfect. As we all know, they're very far from perfect. I think anybody with an ounce of common sense knows that. As I said in the video I put out, I think it was on Saturday, I put a video out about this. I was saying that, I've been thinking about the fact that obviously the Inghams haven't been back to Orlando, Florida since the allegations came out. And a lot of people seem to be overlooking that crucial fact. Obviously, I wish I could be more. I wish I could be less critical about their channel and less critical about them personally. But I just can't be that less critical because their channel's shit. Their channel is it's absolute garbage. And there's not really anything, positive that I can say about their vlogs. But, I guess only time will tell as to whether things really change. But, if truth be told, I don't see anything change for their channel anytime soon. I really don't. I wish I could say I do see things changing, and I wish I could say I do see things getting more positive for the vlogs, for them as a whole, with regards to YouTube, but I don't see things getting any better for them. I just see things, continuing to get worse, and worse, and worse, before, they get any better. I guess only time will tell, as to what happens, as to how things improve. But things just don't seem like they're going to improve for them, at all. I think now is the time. I think the only option there really is for the Inghams at this point is quitting YouTube. That's the only logical option they have. Like, they want a normal, quiet, peaceful life, right? Best way to, and quitting YouTube for them would be their gateway to that. If I had a choice between putting up with hate, putting up with negative comments every day and hate comments and yada yada yada, or living a peaceful, quiet life, I know which one I'd choose. you know, I think most people, if they had a channel that had over 1 million subscribers but was only getting 20, 30 views, they would admit that something was wrong. They would have, I think most people, if they had a channel that was over 1.3 million subscribers, but was only getting, around 20 to 30 views, they would admit that something was wrong, they would admit that they would need to change things a little bit, and that they would need to look at ways of improving their channel, or, just call it a day. I think that's what most people would do in this sort of situation, is just call it a day. I mean, it's like, as I said, as I've said many times, if their channel was to be demonetized tomorrow, they wouldn't stick around. They'd be gone. That's the only reason they're doing YouTube, isn't it? It's for the money. And as long as that money is continuing to roll in, they ain't gonna give a shit about it. They're not gonna give a damn. It just has to be said. I don't know what the future holds for their channel, but the future just really isn't looking good. And this isn't just a new thing, like, things haven't been looking good for their channel for a long time. Things haven't been, even since, even before they moved to Dubai, things weren't looking that good. And things are still not looking that good now. And things ain't gonna get, they need to face facts, and they need to accept the fact that things are not gonna get any better for them. Like, they still think they're so popular, but their view counts really say otherwise, I mean, it's really, as I said, it's really not something to brag about, a channel that has over 1.3 million subscribers, only getting 20 to 30 views on a vlog per day. It's just hilarious, but as I said, you would expect a channel that is getting that many views to achieve more than that, but they're not. Like, they're not really achieving that. They're not really achieving what they should be achieving, because their content is shit. And I don't care what the iFans say. I know that, people saying that the Inghams vlogs are rubbish is something that really seems to offend the iFan. But they just won't admit it, will they? This is the problem, they won't admit it, but we all know their vlogs are rubbish. We all know that, they're in a very bleak position right now. We all know that things are not looking good for their channel as it currently stands. I don't think the iFan, and even bear the idea of the Inghams quitting YouTube, I don't think that's something they ever want to think about. But we all know that day is coming. And it's coming, and I think, I'm positive, and I'm very, very certain of the fact that that day is coming sooner than anyone thinks it is. I think it's coming sooner than they think it is, even they think it is. I'd say less than a year. I'd say their channel is, that I can't see their channel lasting any more than a year at this point. I honestly see their channel lasting literally less than a year. I honestly, I don't know what to say, like, I don't want to be so critical about their vlogs, but I can't really help that, like, there just isn't anything positive to say about their vlogs or the sort of content they're putting out there. These bad trip vlogs, they ain't gonna do much good. Even they ain't gonna bring in the views. They ain't gonna get them, they're not really gonna get any more views than what they're getting now. You know, even the bad trip vlogs, they're only going to be bringing in 20 to 30 views max. And, you know, it pains me to say it, but, you know, there is nothing that, you know, nothing is working for them anymore. The birthday vlogs don't bring in the views they used to be putting in. You know, the holiday vlogs don't bring in the views they used to be putting in. You know, they've gone from being one of the, you know, probably being one of the best family vlogging channels on YouTube at one point, to now being one of the worst in terms of views. That's why the whole 3 million subscriber thing doesn't really mean anything, because their view counts are so shit. You know, they can't get above 20 to 30k views. So, you know, it's not really worth them bragging about the fact they have over 1.3 million subscribers when their content isn't even, their vlogs are not even doing that good views wise. You know, it's just, this has to be said. You know, the sooner that the Inghams start facing facts, and then the iFam start facing facts, the better. You know, I think they're scared of having to live a normal life. I don't think they hope to have to live a normal life. But I would love to see those kids, you know, being able to enjoy a peaceful, quiet life without having to perform for the Hammers, you know, every single day. More the younger three than anything. You know, because they're so young, and it's like they're not properly old enough to consent to being filmed for social media anyway, which is why I have such a big problem with what the Inghams do. And what, you know, because I just think it's so wrong that the younger three have to put up with being filmed for social media when they're not really old enough to properly consent to that. Like, it just doesn't seem fair to me. And it angers me to think that people think this is fair, and people think this is okay, and people think this is acceptable. You know, I don't get how people could even think this was fair. You know, it pains me to think that people think this is fair, because it's not. There's nothing fair but remotely fair about it. And I'm sorry if that makes me sound critical or somewhat pedantic, but it just has to be said. You know, as I've said, I've never had an issue with the older three being filmed, because they've not had to put up cameras being shoved in their faces since the day they were born. You know, but they still had to put up with most of their lives being monetized. You know, the thing that I don't like about it is it just feels like the kids don't really have any privacy in their lives. Like, you know, it just feels like, you know, anything and everything is just shared online and used for content. And I've said this a lot about the Jolies as well. Like, I don't, you know, it just feels like the kids don't have any privacy in their lives. It's like they can't do anything or go anywhere without Hammer being there. It's like, no matter where they go, no matter what they do, the Hammer's always there. And it's like, you know, at the end of the day, they should be able to go out somewhere and relax and enjoy themselves and not have to worry about there being a camera there. They should be able to go somewhere and enjoy themselves and have fun without mummy and daddy filming them the whole entire time for, you know, over vlog content basically. You know, am I wrong for saying that those kids should be able to go somewhere and enjoy themselves and have a good time without mummy and daddy filming them the whole entire time for vlog content? You know, am I wrong for saying that the younger three shouldn't have to put up with being filmed for social media because they're so young, you know, they're not old enough to properly consent to that? You know, it's just, I'm done with the Inghams. I'm done with them, and I've done I'm so done with their iFam at this point, it's unbelievable. You know, the sooner they're gone from YouTube, the better, you know, as at least we won't have to put up with seeing their really smug, selfish, evil, cruel faces anymore. Because that's what Chris and Sarah and them are, they're nothing but a smug pair of pricks who, you know, who are basically making money, making a shit ton of money from exploiting their kids. They're depriving their kids of an education, of a decent education. You know, they're, you know, the dads, you know, well, Chris is a child groomer, that's something to be proud of. You know, in all honesty, they are depriving their kids of so much in life, and it's wrong, really. You know, like, it's so, you know, a lot of the things you see with Inghams, it feels scripted as well. Like, you feel like they've been given scripts to read or something like that. It's just madness. You know, it's just absolute madness. I don't know what else to say. And as I said, you know, I don't like the way the Inghams lie so much, and I think the worst thing about this is that now they're getting their kids to lie for them as well. That actually makes things 10 times worse. Is the fact that they're making, you know, that they're now getting their kids to lie for them as well. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, this won't be the last video on the Inghams, that's for sure, you know. I'm not saying that I'm done posting videos about them, I'm just saying that I'm done with their vlogs, I'm done with their daily bullshit and their constant lies, and I'm done with the constant bragging. You know, well, how's about they come back and start bragging about having 1.3 million subscribers when their channels, when their vlogs start getting over 100k views on a daily basis? Until then, they might want to keep their mouth shut. And they might want to stop bragging about the fact they have over 1.3 million subscribers. Because these days, that doesn't really mean a fucking thing. That doesn't mean a single solitary thing at all. Simple as that. I hope you've enjoyed this video anyway. And I'll see you for another one very soon. But for now, enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll catch you all later. Bye bye.